we are recording. Okay. So why the hats tonight? So today when we talked and we just talked about all the different skills that you can learn, it's important that you know that practice, practice, practice makes perfect. How often have you heard that? That you've got to keep practicing something to become perfect. So when I said that, the first person that caught my eye was Rita. So we'll use Rita as an example tonight. She's a dental hygienist. And guess what? I bet you that they practice so many thousands of hours in school because they had to practice over. I bet she cleaned everybody in her family's teeth 12 times. Right, Rita? Because
Yeah.
truly, that was the only way to master how to clean somebody's teeth, was to practice that over and over and over again. Then I looked down at Diane. Two things there. One, I bet it took her practice, practice, practice to get the church bulletin exactly right. Yes, it did. And she's watching Talon play ball right now. And if he didn't practice, he would not have been chosen for the older kids' team. Right? Yeah, baby. Woo, woo. And then we flip over to Val Salo, who has a professional baseball player as a son. And you know what? That kid threw ball after ball after ball to be the pitcher.
Still does.
Yes. True? Okay.
True.
So
Still does.
I know that that's a simple thing that I'm saying right there. It sounds so simple. Practice, practice, practice. But truly, that is what will make you an expert at this business, is by doing it over and over again. And just like those three people that I talked about, just like Salo, we'll use Logan as an example. I'm sure there were many times that he was frustrated and wanted to quit. He got in a slump. I can remember us praying him out of a slump more than one time, you know, because that just happens with what you do. So that's one thing that, you know, remember what I've always said. You stay in Mary Kay because you are called here until God calls you to do something different. So until that happens, you practice, you practice, you practice, you keep practicing so that you can master the skills. If you just hit and miss, if you just jump on here every now and again, if you never watch the Mary Kay training, if you never get color confident, if you never do your basic skincare, your MK University, I mean, that is the only way that you are going to learn to master this business. So tonight, that's why we wear our caps. So Celissa, you look cute, and I told the girls I was wearing mine that way, but I tried it and looked. So, I mean, it just ain't happening. Nothing about this hair is ball cap ready. So let's just get it back up here where how we're used to seeing it. There we go. And Rita looks cute in her. So, okay. So, Teresa, do you and Maddie want to add anything to that little opening spiel there?
Well, I was never actually, I don't think I was ever on a team growing up, especially, I know I wasn't in high school. So I didn't understand the importance of what a team does or what players do. I mean, I had a job and I did those kind of things after school, but I was never on a team. And my daughter, she was a dancer for over, you know, she took dance classes for over 10 years. So that's my other uniform is Jane School of Dance. Dance.
Yeah.
Sylvia's mom, whatever. And I watched those girls practice and practice until I thought, Lord have mercy, give them a break. But you know, they kept, as a team, they would practice. They would, if the teacher called them out and said, you know, you need to do better with this, you know, that's not working, do this. I mean, they didn't, some of them probably might have cried, went home, but the ones the true champions that wanted to work as a team and, you know, for their group, you know, stuck with it. And they just kept on practicing and practicing and practicing. And I mean, I'd see them before, you know, before one of our big dance events, you know, 10 o'clock at night. And these are girls that are still in school practicing. So, and then I think of Coach Cal. You know, a lot of us are UK fans, and this is actually a classic UK hat. I don't know how old it is, but it's probably older than some of you all. But it's, you know, I saw him on television once, and this is, he talked about, you know, his team, and he talked about recruiting, and he talked about looking for, you know, for people, looking for winners, looking for champions, people that wanted to be on the team and wanted to, you know, I mean, he's not going to recruit somebody who's just going to do it on their own and be a hot shot one time. He's looking for people that have the skill, but that will work as a team. And they practice. I mean, we don't even see them practice. We have no idea, but we know they're practicing. They have to practice. He makes them practice, and he makes them practice a lot. So that's my little spiel anyway, from a 10-year dance mom anyway.
Awesome.
Not a UK fan, but.
Can I interrupt for just a moment?
Yeah.
I'm taking attendance for Diane, and there's somebody named Amanda's phone. What's her last name?
Oh, it's Amanda. It's Mandy. Mandy Bays.
Oh, okay, Mandy's phone. Okay. And then there's somebody else that just says iPhone. She's a new.
That is
Trish.
Diane. Yep, Trish Johnson. That is Diane's new team member that I'm going to have her officially introduce here just in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, just it's so true. Practice makes perfect. And I love the concept of 10,000 hours. You know, they say it takes 10,000 hours to be a master of something. And that's a lot of hours to log. Even when you start a new job, you know, I know it can be so frustrating because you don't know everything and you want to know it all and stuff like that. But if you think of 10,000 hours, that take you almost 5 years to master your skill or master your trade. And that would be without anything changing, you know, doing the same thing. So, and I don't say that to discourage you and think, oh, well, Lord help, that's a lot of hours. But it's just, you know, if you truly wanted to master something, it just puts into perspective the amount of time that it takes. And same thing, I can remember everything I've ever set my mind to and said I was going to do. You know, whether it be the cheerleading or dance or whatever it was, just the amount of hours. And I can remember as I listened to Teresa talk, just how, you know, in cheerleading, we would do the same move over and over and over and over. I mean, that like same little minuscule move, but it just takes time to master something. And it's just so true in Mary Kay. And when you look at people along the career path, it's not because anyone was blessed with anything different than you, or it's not that, you know, that anyone has any greater or less talent than you have. It's just the amount of time that they have invested in their Mary Kay business that makes the difference. The amount of time that they've taken to train themselves and learn how to be a master consultant, how to book, coach, sell, recruit, referral. They've just done it over and over and over again and learned to master it in their own, you know, unique way. So, yep. So I love this little theme here. Practice makes perfect.
Yes. So Diane is at the ball game tonight, but she wanted to be on here so that she could introduce Trish to us. You have to unmute, sis. She don't know. Tap your phone on the bottom.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
Okay. Well, I want to introduce you all to Trish Johnson. She is a woman of excellence. She's an awesome mother. She's a fabulous daughter. She's very close to her parents. She's a hard worker. And I don't know exactly how long I've known her, but she's one of those people that when you meet her, you feel like you've known her all your life and you just love her. And when she became my customer, of course I was very excited because I feel like God sends me all the customers that I have. But I had asked her just in passing, you know, I'd love to have you on my team. And she said, well, as a matter of fact, I used to sell Mary Kay. And I said, okay, when you're ready. And, you know, I don't like to be pushy. And the other day she sent me a message and she said, well, I'm ready to join your team. And I went, praise the Lord.
Awesome. Well, you can tell that about you, Trish, right off, because the second she got on here and she realized that she was connected to, I was like,
I was all excited.
we could tell that. So tell us anything about yourself that Diane didn't share, which those were really some awesome words for somebody to speak over you, sister.
I know, she's awesome. I love her. I love Diane. I don't know. I think that's about it.
Do you work inside the home?
No, yeah, I work outside. I'm the assistant director to the Ohio Means Jobs in Lawrence County. So I help oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Decline. Okay. Sorry. I help people find jobs, or right now I'm working with a program that's helping people that are in recovery, that are substance abuse users, and I help them get jobs and that type of thing. So
Awesome.
helping people become self-sufficient is the goal that I have in life.
Great. Well, not to, this is totally off a Mary Kay subject, but if I don't ask this right now, forget, because I was just telling my friend Debbie about this because her nephew is autistic. There is a place over in Ironton that's for disabled children, I think, where they go there all day. What is the name of that? Do you know?
Yes, if you'd asked me any
That's
other time, I would know.
industrial.
Huh?
I think it has industrial in the name.
Yes, State Industries.
What is it?
Tri-State Industries.
Okay, yes, I'll tell her about that. That must have been meant to be for you to say that, because I was trying to share that with her. So, well, welcome to Mary Kay. Tell us your reasoning why you wanted to join.
I loved it when I sold it before. And then I decided it was just me and my husband that at the time. And then I decided to be a foster parent. And so that took up most all of my time because I dealt with therapeutic teenagers. So I didn't have time to do it anymore. So I stopped doing it. But now I've adopted 2 kids. So I'm done fostering. And my oldest son goes to U of L. He's in his PhD, getting his PhD in neuroscience, something like that. And my youngest is 17, and he goes to Boyd County High School.
Well, awesome. Well, welcome to
And
Mary
he's autistic, and he's absolutely the most amazing child you'll ever meet. Love him to death.
Well,
Both my boys are good, but yeah.
Look forward to the opportunity to meet him for sure. And we think that you've joined the best unit in Mary Kay. We'll just tell you that. And we tell everybody that this is what Diane says, and that's one, she'll be in Mary Kay until she meets Jesus. And I will tell you that we have longevity in our unit. So people that come into our unit usually stay. I mean, I have my very first team member 25 years ago is still on our team. So we just want you to know that wherever the journey of Mary Kay takes you, you can never go out. Okay? You always have to stay in with us. So, well, welcome. We appreciate you. Diane, I don't know if you're in a spot where you can share the poem with her. Just a minute. She's going to get somewhere where she can share it.
This is Mary Kay's favorite poem, and it's still hanging in her office today. I have a premonition that soars on silver wings. It's a dream of your accomplishments, of many wondrous things. I do not know beneath which sky or where you'll challenge fate. I only know it will be high. I only know it will be great. Welcome to Mary Kay.
Welcome.
Yay!
Thank you.
So, okay, Trish, so here's what we do. We mute everybody, and then if you want to ask a question or say something, you just unmute yourself. And we just do that because there's always a lot of background noise. So, like I said, you feel free just to unmute yourself if need be. Okay?
Okay.
All righty. Well, let's rock and roll, girls. So, there was a lot of exciting things that happened this week on our teams. You know, divided into teams is always super, super fun. So I've got some things I'm going to share on that just in a bit, but a few announcements, and that is holiday PCP ends tonight. So if you do want to enroll your customers in the holiday book, you can certainly do that by midnight tonight. And then the regular look books that you signed up for, you know, for fall, those should be shipping now. So, you know, usually you'll get one yourself, and it has 2 lip gloss samples in it, 2 glosses. So be sure that you follow up with your customers. And Julia Burnett posted some great text today on that, and I'll put them out on our Facebook page when we're done this evening, so that you'll have that. And there are some limitations, as you all know, on the new lip glosses and the new eye colors. And truly, it's just with COVID and the supplies and what Mary Kay can get, you know, everybody that was shut down is trying to catch up. And so, you know, that's where we're at with these new products. So you'll just have to, you know, be patient. And definitely one thing I wouldn't do is discount a thing, because this is like gold. If you're only going to get one or two, do not discount it, sister, because you're going to be in trouble on that if you do. All right. So let's do a quick count up of sales. So Trish, every single week we do a count up of sales, and it's just a lot of fun. You know, normally we meet in person, but due to COVID, we've been meeting this way. So we just kind of do a sign of hands. So if you opened up your store this week, raise your hand if you sold anything. Hands in the air, hands in the air. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right. If you sold at least $100, keep your hands in the air. $100. All right. Great job, Felicia and Mandy. Duranda, girl. Oh yeah, she says. That was your hand still up? 200. It's okay, isn't it? 200. Who's at the 200? Okay. Do I see there's no hands? That doesn't ever happen. So let me brag on some people that's not on here tonight. And that is Leanne has a party right now as we speak. It started at 6 o'clock. It was the only time. She hated to do it during meeting night, but her total week was $473.50. Woo, woo, woo. And Leanne has been rocking the in-face parties, by the way. And so I wanted her to teach tonight a little bit on that transition of virtual to face-to-face, but she had a lot going on today. But she will do it, she said, over the next couple of days. So when she does that, then I'll send that out to you all. Okay. Also, Chris Wallace had a week of $456. Now, Chris is not on here tonight. I don't know. Did you hear back from her, Matt? Okay. So you all know that she had her surgery last Monday. She went today, got stitches out. She's doing great. She's doing fantastic. And she loves her doctor. She asked her doctor today, what do I need to do to heal? And he said, you go home and rest. I've done what I needed to do. You be still. We're going to he didn't say let God do the work. We added that part. But he gave her the freedom to say, Chris, go rest. And just rest and heal. And it's already, the graft is already taken shape on one side. So you all just continue to pray that she gets the rest that she needs and that God heals that nose perfectly. Beautiful. And we're giving God all the credit for that right now, and without her having to go through that horrific surgery that she didn't want to go through. So I want Maddie to share a little bit about Chris's week and how that all happened. You're muted, sis. Sorry.
So Chris and I were chit-chatting. Yeah, it was last week, and she finished up her 600 in July. And anyways, we were just going back and forth about that in our month and stuff like that. And I said, what about the blessing bags? You know what? I don't know what your thoughts are on that, if you got excited about that. And she said, oh, yes. So her goal was to do, so if you were on last week, the blessing bags was to teachers. So it's for the month of August to put together little blessing bags that have Mary Kay hand cream in it, and just all cutesy, and it's to gift to a teacher. So your customers can gift a teacher, and basically how that works is, let's say, I think Chris's blessing bags were $13 maybe.
Yes, they were 13.
Hers were 13. So what she did was, this is the message she sent out to her customers. She said, hello, beautiful. It's August and back to school it is. I'm putting together blessing bags for teachers. This will include a Mary Kay hand lotion, an inspirational message, and some candies. The cost will be $13. Please let me know if you would want to give in this way. All blessing bags will go to Crabb Elementary in Ashland, Kentucky, unless you give me the name of your teacher choice or your school, and I will make sure they get the blessing from you. Either way, have an amazing day, and thank you for supporting teachers and my small business. And she sent a picture of her blessing bags put together because, basically we just thought this was a wonderful time to bless some teachers, because teachers are just having a really rough time, I would imagine, right now. I mean, they're doing something they've never done. They are overwhelmed. They're stressed out. I mean, I can't imagine being a brand new teacher. Can't imagine being a seasoned teacher, a kindergarten teacher, all the things. So anyways, it's like, why do we have to wait till the end of the year or Christmas time to let our teachers know how much they mean, and just really give them, just kind of lift their spirits, just a blessing bag. So anyways, her goal, so she pre-ordered these hand creams. She pre-ordered 30 because that was her goal. She was confident with that. In one day, she had sold 38 blessing bags so far. So anyways, isn't that so exciting? And that's as simple as she did.
Yes. And so if you want Maddie, she'll post that script on her page and our page, and it's very exciting, which Chris always does so well at those, because she has that heart. And being a teacher herself, I love the fact that she felt that need to reach out to teachers. And today I was thinking to myself, I thought, goodness, our mothers need blessing bags too, because they're totally stressed out too, trying to decide what route to go with their kids. So anyways, it is definitely a time that a small token can bless people. And everybody just has gifts of that. Today, my cousin, she'd been trying to reach me a couple of days, trying to know Jake and Kayla's schedule, and she said, I just wanted to fix a meal for a working parents, a working family where both parents work, and coming home and having to fix dinners, a challenge. And I thought, how nice. So today she delivered a whole meal to them, and just how thoughtful was that. And she said, over the weekend I baked a turkey, and she took it to some elderly couple. I mean, that's just her gift. So we're capable of doing nice things too. I'm not saying you have to bake a turkey for somebody tomorrow, but you can promote some blessing bags, right? So anyways, that is awesome. All right, so let's talk about sharing. So who added to their team this week? Diane Anderson, Queen of Sharing. And I was going to have her share with you how she added her team member, but she's already shared that with us. So thank you, Diane, for reaching out and asking Trish to be on your team. So we appreciate that, and we're so excited to have her on board. All right, so we have a lot to share tonight. You're going to get an assortment of things. So just to kind of give you a little overview, I want to applaud Maddie and Teresa. Maddie's done 6 faces this past week. So we're at the 10th, and she's 6 faces in. She's tracking 30 faces this month. I know, awesome. So she is going to share with you how she booked those, because they're all virtual faces. Teresa is going to share with you what her communication was with customers, because she sold product every day this past week. She has sold product. So how awesome is that? So I'm very, very excited for you to hear from them. But before we do that, I'm going to give you a little rundown on our teams and just how proud I am of Mandy. Raise your hands up, Mandy. Oh, yeah, woo, woo. So for those that do not know what I'm talking about, and for new people, occasionally we'll just do a fun challenge, and we'll divide up in teams, and we'll have a little team action, and you never know what we're going to do. I'll just come up with something, or God gives me something to come up with, or the 3 of us come up with something together. But this time, I had never done it quite like I did. And so I wanted to put the concentration on income producing activities, and I wanted it to be mandatory so that you all could see that your team could pull that off with the numbers. So it really allowed us to kind of see where some strengths and weaknesses are. So I feel like that my leaders right now may feel just a little teeny tiny bit discouraged because they did not complete all the mandatory things, but I do not want you to feel that way, because you led, everybody had just a little small amount, and it's going to help us tonight night with training that little tiny piece that maybe we didn't get accomplished. But they also, once you did your mandatory part, then they got a point system. So even though they didn't reach that, I want to tell you where their point system was. So our winner of the points would have been Mandy's team with 400 points. I know, yes, you all rocked it out. Leanne's team had 330 and Diane's team had 170. So it was awesome to see what you all did. Let me tell you what you were great at and what I loved. I loved seeing that you all put your makeup on this week, and I got to see those pictures. Now, how many of you would agree that probably because of the season that we're in right now, you may have not put your full makeup on, but you did it anyways because it was a challenge and you just felt better on that day because you had your face on? Yes. Diane, I have totally laughed because I bet Pastor Mike wanted to call me up and thank me because his secretary was rocking her glamour look. Yep, that would be it. So you all did fantastic. You did a great job listening to your $1 million call. I love the feedback. Does anybody just want to share on those two things, just even what it felt like to listen to the $1 million call, and if that made you feel differently about your business each day because you plugged into that? Does anybody want to share? Go ahead, Rita, and it'll help Trish know what $1 million call is.
I loved it because it kind of kept me on focus. And of course, each one of them is an inspirational message, but it gives you lots of tips. And they always mention a book, and I've written them all down. I'm gonna go back and try to read them. But it's always great to hear from leaders in our company and how well they're doing, and getting a great message from them every day. It was very inspiring.
And the fact that, it's usually 10 to 20, 10, 15 minutes long. So it's not anything that's, takes a very long time to do. And so hopefully you were able to listen to that to and from work, Rita. Did anybody
I usually
else?
waited till I got home because there's dead spaces and I didn't want to get cut off.
Yes. Anybody else want to share? Anybody?
Felicia will.
Oh, go ahead, Felicia.
They're very inspirational, yes, but the biggest thing that spoke to me out of anything was to not get discouraged when you look at other people and how well they're doing in the company compared to what you're doing. Because whenever somebody's doing so much better than I am, it kind of gets me down. And today she talked about how not to compare yourself to others.
Yes. Here is the thing, and really we should start out every single training like this, because comparison will stop you in your tracks. 100%. It will just stop you, and you will get discouraged and you won't do anything. Even though it's a team and it's fun, you're on your individual race, and if your goal is to sell 50 or your goal is to sell 100 and you reach that, then you are successful. So maybe we even need to come up with something, a backdrop, which you can put your own little backdrop behind you electronically. I don't know if you knew that, digitally or whatever you want to call. But maybe we need to put that on there, or maybe we just need to have a show of hands every Monday. Did you meet your goal? Did you set your goal and did you meet it? Because if you did, you are a winner. And I've had people say, oh, well, I'll never do as good as those girls, the ones that are doing the top, the ones that are doing quarter sales and so forth. But I sat at the top of the seminar arena one time looking down at people that were on the stage, and that was overwhelming. I never saw myself there, but I saw myself getting to the next step. to the next level. What's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? And then the next thing you know, you're going to be there. If that's your goal, is you will be there. But wherever your goal is, that's all that matters, is that you reach that. So thank you for sharing that, Felicia. I appreciate that. Felicia wears no glamour at all, and this week she got better and better every single day. The first day she said it looks rough. The second day she said it looks a little bit better, and then today on the last day she said, I think I've got too much on.
Oh, I love that.
She was already a pro and she was glammed up, so that was exciting to see. So again, I'm super proud of you all. We are dividing into teams again this week, but you're going to be excited. It's 2 teams and it's nothing but just sales. So I'll divide that up. I wanted to see who wanted to play. We've done that a lot, and that is super fun too, a little friendly competition. So once everybody shares if they want to participate, then we'll divide up into teams. And the only way that I can, I mean, like, it would be fun to just draw names out of a hat, but what I just try to do is just equal people up. You know, who normally has $300 weeks, you know, and I just divide those out kind of evenly, so it's a very even team. So, okay. Let's move on to one of our areas that I felt like we were weak in on all teams, I didn't share that, was sharing appointments. So therefore, it told me that maybe we don't know how to ask for the appointment. So we're going to touch on that in just a bit. But before we do that, we're going to hear from Maddie and Teresa. I'm going to share a little bit about a system and following up, and then Val's going to share with us her follow-up from virtual appointments that she sold over $500 from her 4 virtual people that she had online. So that's kind of the order we're going to go in right here. And then I have a few more things to cover. So we're going to start with Maddie, like I said, and congratulations to you all for really pushing through on Thursday nights, a Zoom call. So Trish, on Thursday nights at 8, we do a Zoom call just like this, and we teach skincare and how to do it, and women follow along with us. And then on Saturday mornings, we do glamour at 10 o'clock. So those are 2 set times that you can always have somebody on, and we do the teaching for you, okay? So Matt, we'll let you go first.
Okay. So I'm going to just break this down of kind of where the faces came from, how I asked them who they are, what it all looked like, because that's always so helpful to me. Like if someone's booked an appointment, I'm like, what'd you say? Like, give me word for word. What'd you say? Then what'd you say? Then what'd she say? So anyway, so the first one, her name's Lindsay, and Lindsay and I did a glamour makeover virtually. And she is someone that I was on tumbling team with when I was about 8 and ain't seen her since. So, but we're on each other's Facebook because what I decided to do at the beginning, I think it was maybe in the middle of last month or the end towards the month, it was like I felt like I kind of was exhausting on my people on virtual stuff. Like I'd asked my customers several times to be on virtual stuff, you know, so it was just kind of like, I just need to like forget all those people and just start with a list of the most random people ever. So how I came up with the most random people ever that I may have never asked about anything Mary Kay to was I got on my Facebook friends list and I scrolled all the way to the very end of the Facebook friends list because I don't understand how Facebook works, but it seems to like only show you certain people. You know, like I see the same people's news feed. It's just a little, you like 10 out of your 2,000 friends or whatever. So I scrolled to the end of my Facebook friends list and it was bringing up people. It was like, oh yeah, her and her. So I made a list and it was maybe a list of 50 people that I had not talked to. And what's fun about it was it didn't matter where they lived. So that made my list look a lot different than it would have pre-pandemic, because I would have never put the people on there that lived out of state. So a lot of people didn't live around here. So anyway, so I messaged Lindsay, the tumbling team girl, and said, Hey, Lindsay, how are you? Do you remember me? LOL. This is so very random, but wanted to see if you might be interested in helping me with something. Hope you're surviving the craziness. She said, hey, yes, I remember you, LOL. What's up? And I said, oh, awesome. What it is I'm in a huge challenge to treat 30 people to a pampering pack this month in lieu of everything going on in the world right now. When I reach my goal, I earn a free pedicure, and I'm so close, LOL. So I'm sending out free skincare pampering packs, and I thought of you because you're such a doll. Plus, it's just a way to spread some happy and camaraderie in these not so happy times. Would you want to be one of the 30? And she said, possibly. What all is included in it, and how much is it? I said, it's totally free. You can do the customized skincare, charcoal mask, and dash out the door packet, or a glamour packet that has eyes, cheeks, and lips in it. Then once you receive it, we'll video chat, and I'll walk you through how to use, and I'll get to count you as one of my 30. Jeez. Okay. And she said, so there's no catch, LOL. I said, LOL, nope. The biggest thing is being able to walk you through it, so so I can for sure count you as someone pampered this month. So if you're okay to video chat, once you get it, then you can definitely be one of the 30. She said, yeah, that's fine. And I said, oh, yay, thanks so much. Which pack would you like, the skincare or the glamour? She said, well, I would like to do glamour, but I'm not very good at being a girl, so I suck at doing that stuff. I'll try it, though. So anyway, I sent her a little pampering pack, and all I put in it was our little customized color card with the 3 eyeshadows, the cheek colors, the lipstick. If I didn't have the color cards, I could have sent individual samples, whatever you have. There was an eyeliner sample and maybe lip liner. I'm out of mascara. The company's out of mascara, so I didn't put anything in that. I was running low on sponge tips, so she only got 1 sponge tip from me. So anyways, what I did was I video chatted her through Messenger. Or actually, I think we ended up doing FaceTime because we couldn't get Messenger to work. So we FaceTimed. I had my phone in the bathroom. She was in her bathroom. I walked her through how to use. And one thing was, like, I encourage people to kind of have their makeup bag too. Like if she had had her own makeup brushes, it probably would have been easier for her to try it versus use the sponge tip. But this girl was so right, as in she had zero makeup. She didn't even have a blush brush. She didn't have nothing. So anyways, but we made it work, and her lighting was dark, so I really don't have a clue how it turned out, but she was happy with it. And anyways, I said, at the end, I said, if you're interested in makeup brushes, Mary Kay has the most basic, user-friendly makeup bag. Comes with a little bag, comes with the essential tools that you need, nothing more, nothing less. And she messaged me when we got off, said she was interested in that, in the brush set. So she got the brush set from me. So I sent her that, and I sent her a whole nother pampering pack, because my goal is to reconnect with her once she has her brush set and do it again. So that way that she truly starts to feel confident in it. You start to build a relationship even though we're not face to face. And what I'm learning through this virtual world is no matter what, just find a next step with them. Like, how can I get together with her again? How can I talk to her again? How can we just do another pampering pack together? Just kind of like keep this going, So that was my end to like keep connecting with her, was through the makeup brush set. And like I said, I put more samples in there so we can connect again. Okay, so that was one face. The next one, Felicia. So Felicia was a referral by someone a long time ago. And we texted. I told her she was the referral. She said that was great. But we never ended up connecting for a makeover. But I added her to my Facebook. And she lives in my town, or close to me. So anyways, it was Thursday, the day we do our skincare live on Zoom. And I'm like, okay, who's close to me that I can run and give them some last minute samples? So I texted her. I'm like, hey, is this Felicia? Because it's been a while since we talked. And she said, yeah, hey. And I'm like, oh, hey, girl, how are you? I'm reaching out with an SOS. Let me find that message. Because I was kind of giving her a sense of urgency. It was random. It's a last minute invite, but I need your help, girl. So I said, well, actually, this was crazy. I said, hey, is this Felicia? This is Maddie Conley. How are you, girl? She said, I'm so glad you messaged me. I need new foundation and pressed powder. I thought about going to Sephora, but then you shut up. Are you doing house calls at the moment? I need someone that will teach how to apply what I'm buying. That's most important to me. I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah, like, yeah, sure. But anyway, so I said, so I was reaching out with an SOS, LOL. This is so random and last minute, but I was trying to think of who I knew in Urban. Any chance you're free tonight at 8? Every Thursday night at 8, we get together on Zoom and do charcoal mask, pampering / girls night. Not sure if you're free tonight, but we're doing our happy skin hour tonight at 8 via Zoom. Wanted to reach out and invite because I was challenged to have one guest on and she had to reschedule last minute. And so I was like, who's close enough that I could literally run over samples real quick to their mailbox? LOL. So, but if you're interested, all you have to do is grab your favorite drink and comfy clothes and pamper yourself to skincare and face masks and join from your phone or computer. Absolutely no pressure at all. But if you help, I'll send you some Happy Mail. And she said, if it helps you, I can do it. And I'm like, perfect. So I ran her over the samples. She joined. She had another girl with her that joined that night, and we're getting together for an in-person facial for the thing. So just it was random. It was totally random.
Maddie, did she give you feedback? Did she enjoy it?
Oh, yes. Yes, this was really neat. So which as we're going along, she's sending me a list of things she's wanting. And she said, thanks for inviting me. I needed it. And I said, did you have fun? She said, I really did. I said, and I was just like, oh, yay, glad. That's why we kind of do it, is just for people that really might just be needing some interaction. So that was one person. Another person. And what's funny about Felicia, like I said, she was referred to me a long time ago. And I had followed up with her on and off trying to connect with her. And it kind of got to the point where she just like didn't respond and stuff like that. And I'm not sure how long ago it was, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're messaging the girl every week, that matters. That's a little too much. But if she comes to your mind, there's a reason, because she needed foundation or she needed the girl time. So just go with your gut, seriously. And so the next,
I'm just sitting here thinking, are you all finding this helpful? I think it's awesome because definitely she needed you. And God put her on your heart and you just reached out. It was like we say 3, 2, 1, go. That's what Pam Shaw says. Don't think about it. 3, 2, 1, go. Felicia was on her mind. She just did it. She didn't think about it. She didn't think it to death.
No, and if I'm at a spot where I just can't text or whatever, I can't message them right now, I have learned to make a note in my phone and write the random thought down. Like put that person down because I know I'll forget about it, but I want it. So then when I'm at a spot where you can message them, I go back to my list. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want it. So it's just crazy how it works. The next person, Kay Ray used to come to the gym I taught at 6 years ago or something like that. She moved to Texas. So again, any other time I would have never reached out to her, but I could because of this. But what's funny about Kay Ray is I cannot get down Central Time and Eastern Time and everything else. I've messed it up like 5 times with her, but thankfully she's been really interested to do it. So where I'm going with that, I've had to follow up a lot. We've had to stay in touch a lot. I mean, she got the bag months ago, but probably 2 months. She might have got it in June. And anyway, she was able to get on Thursday because we got the time right. Our schedules finally matched. 2 months later, they matched. And with Kay Ray, so she was on Thursday night. And what I did, as soon as we got off, I FaceTimed her. And we just caught up. I just had her fill me in on life. At the very end, I said, what'd you think? She tried the microdermabrasion. She loved the scrub part. She's not into skincare, has never been into skincare. So we left it at, she had friends on her mind that would have fun doing this too. So I'm going to send her a picture of that scrub, the microdermabrasion scrub, to just again tempt her. And because if she gets 5 people on a Zoom call for a party, that'll be my hostess gift to her. And so because she loved it, and I think that'll work. So so that's Kay Ray. The next person, Kayla Raines. Kayla Raines was in my math class in college, and I know you would not believe this, but I was so backwards in college. I talked to no one, but I remember her. We had math class together, and she was nice to me, and that's what I sent her a message. I'm like, girl, this is so random, but I'm like, I don't even know if you remember me, but I remember you because you were so sweet to me, and that has always stuck with me. Anyway, this is random, but wanted to see if you might want to help me with something. And she said, yeah, sure, of course I remember you. Blah, blah, blah. And same thing, she wanted to help with the pampering pack, so she was on there on Thursday night. And I gave all these girls the option of our Thursday night thing. You know, I voice clipped them and said, we can video chat, just you and I, or we do this really fun thing on Thursday nights. We do charcoal mask as a group, wash our face as a group, play some games. It's just honestly some really fun interaction in these nutso times. And so I give them the option, and they surprisingly all want to do it as a group. So that's pretty neat. And she was on, I FaceTimed her afterwards too. Same thing. I just caught up with her. And I said, well, we do a glamour pack too. You want me to send you that one? She said, yeah. So I'm going to send her the glamour pack, and then we'll go from there. And the next one, Amber Bops, I sent her, she's in Florida. I sent her a pampering pack kind of when this pandemic all started. We've had trouble connecting. She tried the pack on her own, but we've just stayed in touch. We've stayed in touch. I sent her a glamour pack, so she's got that one. And anyway, she missed our glamour thing on Saturday. We've tried to do it every Saturday since we've started. It's just not worked out. But here we are months later. Our schedules finally collided. I video chatted her after our glamour thing. We never even tried the glamour pack because we were just talking, and she wanted to do about Mary Kay. So I did a career chat with her. And we're going to try the pack this week. So, but again, just random. And then the other person is another girl in Richmond that I knew I could take her the pack and get it to her, you know, quick so that she could hop on her thing. She missed the Thursday night call, but our schedules finally matched one day, and we did our makeup together. I FaceTimed her with no makeup on, and we did the whole thing together. She sent me a selfie, and I'm going to post it because she looks so cute. And to think that we did that over FaceTime is crazy. And she felt great. She was going to work. She's a working mom and is working crazy hours, and she works at Amazon, and Amazon is not great for them right now because they've got to literally stay in one spot because of COVID. They don't even really want them talking because of COVID. I mean, so she just was glowing, and that was worth everything, regardless of anything ever comes of that. That was worth everything. So anyways, I just encourage you that you just never know who you'll be video chatting with and reconnecting with, but it's blessing a lot of people. So
you know, I want to applaud you, Maddie, because she's always done great on follow-up. She's always done excellent. And her follow-up on most all of those that she just talked about, it was her follow-up that got the appointment. And so I applaud you for that. That's awesome. And I think the Thursday night and the Saturday morning is working out great, especially when you get people on there and they love it. And you can just tell they're having a great time. And all the feedback we've had is how much fun they have. I mean, that's just like tonight. We always say we hate to get off when this is over because we enjoy seeing each other as well. So that's awesome. I hope you guys found that helpful. And if there's any of those messages that you want her to post or send, you know, all you have to do is ask. So, all right, Teresa, tell us a little bit about your week and your communication with your customers that brought you those awesome sales.
Okay. Well, mine is a little different. I decided a while just recently that I was just going to kind of like think about who was in my zone, who was in my space. And, you know, sometimes we walk right past people all the time and we don't think, we think, well, what if? So one of them actually was, she works at the little place that I exercise at, and I've been meaning to ask her for months, but you know, like she's either exercising or how you kind of back and forth, you try to find the right moment. And so I gave everybody in the group a little hand cream for a special occasion, and she loved that. She goes, "Oh, my hands are so dry, thank you." And then last week, I walked past her many times, but last week I thought, okay, I'm going to ask her. And it was the right time. I said, you know, I'm giving out pampering packets this week. would you like one? And she says, oh my goodness, yes. Because she used to use Mary Kay years ago. And she goes, I like the Time Wise. I want to get started back on again. I'm not taking care of my skin, blah, 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 blah. So she actually bought the Time Wise skincare and is trying the eye cream first as a sample because she had bought some things from another store and she didn't like them, so she felt a little uneasy about that. So that was like almost $100 sale, just like that. And I invited her Thursday night, but she didn't want to do it. So it was just basically, I was going to drop it off at her door or take it to the gym. So I saw her today and she just Venmo me the money. And I said, well, we're doing it again Thursday night. She goes, I'm not interested in that. I said, okay, that's fine. So everybody's, there, you just keep asking. The other one is my yoga teacher. Again, she's a busy person. She teaches yoga at UK. She teaches yoga in the studio. She teaches exercise the other nights. It's crazy. And the only time I've had a facial with her was at her house with a 5-minute facial because I was at a challenge and she helped me. And it literally was 5 minutes. So I've been talking to her about it for months. And she's like, I want to get together, get together. And then, of course, we had this whole thing happen. And I've been doing Zoom yoga. And I'm sure she appreciated me sticking in there and doing that with her. And so I said, well, why don't we do a mother-daughter facial with her, with her daughter. Who I've seen, grow up. And so Campbell now is going to be going to middle school. So we did a FaceTime skincare. I took the packets over to them. They both used, I actually squirted some little botanical effects in some Ziploc bags and asked, the mom, are you okay with that? I wrote a note, are you okay with this? This is not sterile, but I washed my hands before I put them in there. She goes, I'm okay with it. So they actually did the skincare together at their kitchen table on FaceTime. And I think that might be one of the first ones. And I really enjoyed that. That was very easy because I could talk to them almost as if we were together. And then Campbell had a lot of questions about makeup. She goes, I've never used makeup. And her mom is still learning. Her mom's in her 40s and she's still learning. So I invited both of them to Saturday morning, but I knew that Jackie had a yoga class. So Campbell showed up on Saturday morning. And again, she had her little color card. So it was really my goal to help teach her how to take care of her skin and to just, where she is about in her life, how much makeup she wants to use. And she showed up. I did, she's 13. I don't know if she's going to show up. And the other one was my little 13-year-old cousin, our cousin. And again, somebody she's in my life all the time, but I thought she just had a birthday. Her birthday, I asked to her mother, what would she like for her birthday? She goes, well, I think she'd like to have lip gloss or skincare. I was like, okay. So Jordan got on the Zoom. I went over next door and gave her little samples and she went through the Zoom class and she learned. And so I felt like I was teaching another generation. And that's kind of like my mission right now is to help that next generation learn about skincare. So when they're not in their 40s, they won't be going, well, why didn't I don't know this? And then another one is another family member who was visiting from Washington, D.C. area, but she's here to, spend some time with her mother. And again, I knew she had some free time. I visited with her on the front porch a couple times, but I invited her to Thursday night. And I don't know if I would have done that if I hadn't visited, if she was not in my space and I didn't think, okay, who's in my space? And she liked it. And so even though she's been using she's had Mary Kay for a few years, she, kind of get out of the habit of using certain products and wanted to try some different products. Oh my goodness. So who else was in there? Another one was just a loyal customer that needed some Mary Kay. And another one was a customer that had some Mary Kay products, but she needed some help. And we've been talking about getting together, doing it virtually because we can't get together face to face. She's not comfortable with that. So we did FaceTime. And that was not hard at all. We just kind of looked at each other and went, do this, do that, do this, do that. And so she ordered some products too. So it's just thinking about, we walk past like Maddie, sometimes we wonder if they will say yes or not. Sometimes they're just looking for people to say yes. And so with the new customer that got the skincare, my goal was to help her with her young, middle school age children to teach them about skincare. And I'm going to ask her to be a hostess as well. So it's just people that are in your space, whether on your Facebook page or not. A few weeks ago, I reached out to a cousin's cousin who's not my cousin, but she lives in Eastern Kentucky. Just asked her if she might want to, hop on our Zoom. She did that she walked on for a few minutes, but then she just messaged me back a few days. And I want that eye patch stuff you talk about. So, I would have not have driven to Eastern Kentucky, maybe, may not have the opportunity to do that today or tomorrow, but, she's somebody that now has got eye patchy stuff on her face. So it's just think about who is in your life right now that you could reach out.
Awesome. This has been great tonight, just hearing how everybody's making their connections, and just like I think both of them kind of shared kind of the next step is the people that you invite on Zoom on Thursday night and they tried the charcoal mask. Well, the following Thursday, or if they want to book a party, you can do the facial peel as a supplement. And so instead of doing the charcoal mask, they can jump back on and they can do the peel with us. Or you can do the eye patch. They can try the eye patches. They could try the microdermabrasion. They can do skincare again, but just do just keep layering them, keep having them get back on for the next thing, the next step, the next step, the next thing. And eventually you'll just layer and layer until they love the product. And if not, you pampered her. The thing is just like Felicia said today, as far as comparison, I think each week we remind ourselves that what's nothing if nothing is nothing. So if you don't ask, you're going to get nothing. If you do ask, you might get something. So, and it's like the piece of gum. If the same person sits beside you in the church pew every Sunday and you pull the gum out of your purse, you're going to ask them if they want some. No matter if they tell you no every single week, because you are nice and you are polite. Every time you pull that gum out, you are still going to, even though, like, you may not ask, but you may just look at her with the gum like, you in, and they're like, you're still going to do it. You're still going to do it. It's the same thing. What you have to understand is it's not no to you personally. They are not saying, no, Kelly Conley, I don't like you. They are saying, no, I'm just not interested at this time. At this time, I'm not interested in trying anything. I'm not interested. I got too much on my mind. And even if they're interested, have you ever been in a position in your life where you're just overwhelmed with something? And even though you really would love to try skincare, your mind is so overwhelmed at that moment that you just can't even think about another thing. We don't know if her and her husband just got in a fight. We don't know if her child just got in trouble at school. We don't know where people's at. So you just keep asking. You just keep asking. You just keep asking. And, and in between there, if it's somebody you see on a regular basis, then you go a few times and you don't ask. Then you revisit, and eventually I have always said, I don't think there's anybody that has not eventually come around to me in the end. After 25 years, they may have said no a few times, but they always end up like, I'm just going to try this, So you just keep asking. And people, sometimes you have to remember, they don't know what they're saying no to. So when they do it, they have a whole change of thought. And, that's one of the things about asking the right way on asking for a sharing appointment. If we learn to ask the right way, they will give you their time, even though they may not be interested at all in the opportunity. I think they will give you your time. So remember, next step. The other thing is, you're always in a challenge. You know that. If you're new, we're working on your 15 faces. Like Maddie's goal was 30 faces. Maybe your goal's 10 or 5 or whatever. But women love to help each other. I'm going to help you. I mean, anytime somebody says, hey, can you help me with something? I'm like, I sure will if I can, because I do have to give myself that out, because it may truly be something that I can't do. They may want me to help move a 300-pound chest of drawers. I'm not sure if I can do that or not. So I always just say, if it's something I can, I will. And I think all women are like that, don't you? So remember, follow-up is absolutely, we talked about this today, the three of us. Follow-up is so different virtually, because when we're in person, people make their decision right then for the most part. Virtually, it's a slower process, and you may feel like you're putting more time into it, but remember, you still have never left your house. You may be sitting in the chair, having quality time with your husband while he's in his recliner on the other side, but you're still doing your little text messages, okay? So it's okay, because you're still in your own home making the time work. So Val's going to share with you, because I feel like when Val had those 4 beautiful guests on there, it was almost a week-long process in getting that wrapped up, wasn't it, Val? So would you share with them what you did?
All right, so I sent 7 packets out. 2 of those was a mother-daughter deal, and asked their permission, of course, and they were all kind of in the school system in some way, because, you know, I had said I wanted to pamper teachers, you know. So out of those 7, they all said, yeah, they'd be on. Okay. So out of those 7, 4 actually got on. 1 didn't do anything with us. Her name was Robin, and she was already a customer of mine, but we kind of lost touch with all of this stuff going on this summer. And she had a birthday, so I just, you know, touched base with her, you know, hey, listen, it's your half-price birthday deal, you know. And she's like, oh, that's so exciting. Well, she never got back with me. Who doesn't get back with half-price stuff, right? So anyway, when I asked her about the packet, she was like, oh, that's awesome. I've been meaning to get with you. So anyway, long story short, so out of the 4 that got on, right, I did follow up with them. Okay, Robin, she still wanted to shop with her half-price stuff. So she got everything she wanted. She started on repair, okay? But she also wanted the things for her son and her daughter, okay? They were also starting skincare. Her son does my, clear proof. Okay, so she said, but now don't give that to me for half price. And I said, absolutely, I'm going to. She says, Val, you're not making any money this way. And I said, but you know what? You're always going to be my customer. And whenever you need something in the middle of the night, sis is getting ready to do a performance, I'm going to run it over in my pajamas, and you'll be happy that you are my customer. I said, so don't you worry about that. So her order came to I think 80 or 60 something, and that was all half price. So I say that to say this, she's on a ton of product in their household, okay? And they're gonna run out. So that's a good thing. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so this other gal, little Kristen, followed up with her. And when I followed up with her and went to her house, she used to sell Mary Kay. So I knew she was very familiar with the product, hadn't tried 3D. So when we talked, after I followed up with her, and that took a couple of days right there, she says, you know what? I went in my cabinet and I found tons of skincare that hadn't even been opened. And I said, well, how long have you had it? And she says, only about a year. And I was like, you got to use that stuff. So what she did was she loved the mask, had never tried the mask. She got the mask and a brush and CC cream. She had never tried CC cream, imagine that. So she did that. So I asked her, I said, hey, listen, when I come to deliver your products, can I bring a little pack for your sister and your mother? I know you're going down there this weekend. She said, sure, they would love it. So her mom and her sister were on this Thursday, and I didn't even know it. She said, tell me they were getting on. I was like, anyway, I just said, you know, I didn't have my glasses on. Oh my gosh, I didn't recognize you. Anyway, so mom is going to order something by the end of the month, and her sister hasn't gotten back with me on anything, but I'm going to have another layer to that process. I didn't have, okay, so let me go to Jamie, and then I'll back up a little bit. Jamie, I didn't think she's a customer of mine. I really didn't think she'd order anything, but she just wanted to be a team player, so I really appreciated that. She calls me and she says, I think I want that new brush you had. So she bought the brush.
The Skin Vigorant brush?
Yes, the Sonic. So, let's see here, what else? Okay, my friend Shelly Osborne said she'd be on. She couldn't get on, so she opened the wrong pack. I sent her daughter the botanical, the scrub botanical, and so I messaged her the next day. I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you couldn't get on. She says, well, you know, we're packing for vacation. She says, but I used the scrub. I loved it. I said, wrong packet. I love it. And I said, well, let your daughter use that. And she says, I used it all up. I loved it. And I said, well, can I bring you some before you go on vacation? She says, yeah, I need that and the moisturizer. And I said, well, then what's your daughter going to try? So anyway, she bought those 2 pieces. She's looking at something now for her daughter. And I said, I tell you what, if you decide on something for your daughter, just for helping me out, I'd like to offer you a half price product. And she's like, okay. So there's that. So see, I still have another sale yet to come from that. All right, my friend Alex, okay, she's very young. She's going to be my kindergarten teacher. And she worked at Ageless Aesthetics. So here's how all of that follow-up went. Oh, listen, I'm so sorry you couldn't get on last night. And she's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot actually. She says, I'm going to try them. I've tried the mask before. She didn't say I'm going to try it. I've tried the mask before. It's a good product. And she says, I'll get back with you if there's anything I need. A couple of days go by. Hey, Alex, listen. And so then she said, you know, I just don't wear any makeup. And I said, are you washing your face and brushing your teeth at all? And she said, yes. And I said, well, try the skincare. And she says, I actually use Ageless Aesthetics products. She said, but I could use a mascara. So tomorrow we're going to get together and we're going to buy some mascara. So see, that's over 2 weeks ago, but I'm still going to sell her some mascara now. My friend Christina Barnes, new baby, all this stuff. Just last night, she was able to try her product. So she texted me today, love the mask. It's going to, you know, try the mask. And she says, I'm going to try some of these lipsticks too. So I told her I'd follow up with her in the morning. And oh, by the way, go ahead and use that moisturizer. You're going to need that after the mask. And I think that's it. That covered everybody. So 4 hopped on. Oh, Libby. She's a customer of mine, kind of, sort of. She buys stuff from people who offer it to her at their discount, okay? So she gets it from anybody and everybody. So she loved everything she did. We followed up 2 or 3 times. Oh, she might want to try this. She might want to try that. And then I hadn't heard from her in a couple of days. I said, hey, listen, what can we do to get together and see what it is you would really like on your wish list? She says, I really don't think I want anything right now. Okay. So there's those guys. And I just kind of think I got lucky. I prayed a lot about it. And I just think God showed me, or at least inclined the hearts of those women to say yes. Okay. I didn't have as great luck this past time. I actually asked 10 different people. Some just said no, they couldn't, weren't interested. And most didn't even get back with me. So I will follow up even with those who never got back with me. So I don't know. Did I cover what you wanted me to cover?
You did. My one thing was, I know, like, you messaged on and off. Like, I know you'd reach out, maybe you didn't hear from them, and so then maybe you just message again in a couple of days. But a lot of them, it took you maybe a few messages.
It took almost 2 weeks, yeah,
to actually get it. But she just kept
Yes.
messaging in a fun way, and the ones that got on had a great time. They had positive
did.
feedback. They had fun. And, you know, just like Libby that didn't get anything, Libby had fun. And she was an
She
asset
did.
to the
She
party.
was so good.
She was sitting in her bathroom. She had her robe on. She had her headband on. You know what? So what? Libby didn't buy anything.
Exactly.
Libby made the party fun for everybody else. So, you know, so it's always win-win. And Libby will come back around and get something. She knows that, but she's an on and off customer. So, you know, just like we know, we keep loving on people. We keep, and, you know, and Maddie, I loved to go back to something she said about the girl that was in her math class that she remembered made her feel special. And after all this time, she let that girl know that. That is awesome, Maddie, because that's what people need to know. And I think that pre-Mary Kay, I don't think that was something that I looked at. I didn't realize just the power of encouragement and words, and really telling people how you care, how you know them, if they did something that was kind to you, whatever it is. You know, we have to learn to point those things out, to remember that every woman is wearing that invisible sign that says, make me feel special. And really, let's just say not every woman, every child, man, teenager, person is wearing an individual sign that says, make me feel special. Everybody is wearing that. And it doesn't take a lot of time for us to give compliments and tell people that regardless of the outcome, we've always said, you go in with dollar signs in your eyes, you're going to come out with nothing. If you go in realizing that people have an invisible sign on that says, make me feel special, you're probably going to come out with something, because that's all you were concerned about, was making them feel special, and everything else just happens. So, you know, if one person leads us to the next person, it always comes out. I have never not been, You know, we always talk about not being able to outgive God, but you can't outgive kindness too. Does that make sense? So you might go in one spot, nothing big happens, but then you go to the next spot and so much happens it made up for the one time that nothing, you know. So that's why I just say I just never get hung up on that, because something will always come. I've never had a situation where I walked away thinking, man, that didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. Something will always come. Might be 2 days later, might be a month later, might be a year, but something good will come from that appointment, from a seed that was planted. And that's what we get to do. And I think it's important we remember the makeup is just the vehicle. And aren't we thankful that, you know, Mary Kay had the marketing plan before she had the product? And aren't we glad that he gave her cosmetics as the product, because it's something that women have to have. So because women want it, therefore we get to be on that vehicle. You know, if it was a different type of product that women didn't really need and it was just occasionally or a luxury or something, it would be different. But aren't we thankful that it was cosmetics, and that gives us the opportunity to be in front of women all the time. So gosh, the training was great tonight, was it not? I mean, I'm ready to get running on my pink packets again. I've kind of been away from my pink packet, but I've been having so much fun with your all's people on Thursday nights. It's been so much fun, and Saturday mornings. I do want to tell you, because we talked about this today too, that when you get your pink pampering packets out, and let's say you did put 10, then suddenly you've kind of got 10 people to follow up with, and everybody's kind of at a different spot. So I think it's important that you do one of two things. You go back Mary Kay style, you get your date book out, and when you deliver that pampering package, is what was your all's communication? When was your follow-up to be? Okay, and you go ahead and write it down on that day what you're going to do. If you're the techno girl, then you are saying, hey Siri, I need a reminder tomorrow at 7 p.m. to follow up with Susie. I dropped her packet off. Okay, so what's Siri? She's setting up a reminder. Sorry Siri, I was playing. But anyways, so if you're the techno girl, you do it via your phone. If you're not the techno girl, you just pull your date book out, and every time you layer, and if you didn't get together tomorrow, like she said, something came up, then remember, you extend it right out in your date book again. When am I to follow up with her again? And follow up, because if not, you're going to wear yourself out in your mind trying to keep up with those 10 pampering packages that you put out, as opposed to getting more out. Does that make sense? And so, Trish, what we're talking about on pampering packets are, because we've been working virtually, we've been getting samples from the company and putting little packets together, either in a bag or in a little pick envelope if we were mailing, and we're getting the samples to them, and we're just doing facials virtually versus in person. So that's what we're referring to when we say pink pampering package. Okay, let's see, what else did as far as training tonight, and thank you Val, because that was what I wanted to see, that you kept hanging in there. You didn't sit back and wait for them to follow up with you. You asked, you know, was there anything? And that's what I tell people when they get on. You're not on any obligation whatsoever to purchase anything. I wanted to pamper you and have fun. However, if you find you can't live without it, I'm happy to get it for you. And most of the time there's something that they fall in love with. Just like Maddie's little gal, she was the one that said, is there a catch to this? And she's the one bought a $55 Gleamer brush set, you know, and she was the one wanted to know if there was a catch. So, and then I've had some of my customers who just said, you know what, I don't want to do it virtual. I don't want to do this. And I said, you want me to make you a quick video? And they said, yeah, make me a quick video and send me. The only thing with that is I always refer to them, hey Maddie, I'm making your video like I said I would, and I need to just do a generic one that I can just pop off when people want that. But I always just like everything to be so personal, because of that make me feel special sign. But for training purposes tonight, I just wanted to know if you all really take time to promote the cleansing bars. It's one of my favorite products to talk about, and I think it's because, you know, I still watch Grayson use this. There's one always in our bathroom, but it is the 3-in-1 cleansing bar. It does do 3 things. It cleanses, exfoliates, and freshens. It's for all skin in all skin types. Dry, normal, combination, oily, all skin types can use this. It's got some important things to know that people ask about a lot of time, in that it's hypoallergenic, it's non-comedogenic, it's fragrance free. That's important to a lot of people. So this really works for most people. Now, I still think, dependent on the products that you use after it, if you're not good with moisturizer and people choose to use this only, it is going to feel drying to them. Okay, but if you immediately put the products on that you're used to using, it won't. But if they like a lather product, they like a lathering cleanser, this is the ticket. I mean, it is so lathering. It lasts so long if they keep their lid on it, which is really funny because on here on our information paper, it says the use-up rate is 2 months. This thing lasts way more than 2 months. As we learned from Cindy Williams, it is the best thing to clean your makeup brushes with. You just put it under that water, put your makeup brush on there, and it just instantly cleans that right out. So, I mean, you probably want to have one of those. And I love it for your whole body. So when you're a consultant, you know, you use things like this when maybe you wouldn't buy it for yourself. But anyways, so I would really encourage this to be a special 1 month on your, if on any of your customer specials, that with any purchase you can get a half price cleansing bar soap, because it will be worth you to do a half price one time, because they will be hooked. And the men in the house who maybe don't want to say they want a cleanser, if this is in the shower, they're going to use it. Okay, so again, I love it. I think it's awesome. Even if, so for example, for me, if you're a morning shower or a nighttime shower, you might be both. But you know, if you're going to be, if you're a morning person and you shower, then it's just nice to have this in the bathtub. You can do it and cleansing's over. On the next time, you use whatever cleanser it is you have on your counter. But it's just a great product to have. So just in case you didn't know about that, that's a little bit on our product education tonight. All right, so are all hearts clear? Who wants to be on a team this week? Everybody. Yeah, everybody wants to be on one. So awesome. I'm just going to say everybody's a yes, okay? So, and then we'll add a few people. So I will text you out. I'll text a few people that went on here to make sure who all wants to be on one, and then we'll divide up. And everything you sell this week adds up to be the winning team. So that's exciting. Anybody got anything else they want to share? Trish, welcome to your first meeting. When you do 10, you get a prize, sis. Yep. And then I'll be getting a hold of you too, because we'll want to do some things to get your business kicked off, and your starter kit's coming tomorrow. I don't know if you knew that or not. Have you been tracking it? It's coming tomorrow, girl. Or was you raising your hand, Celissa, because you wanted to be in, or because you had a question? And you have to unmute yourself.
Alyssa, you look so cute in your hat.
I know, doesn't she? I'm like, who looks that cute in a hat?
I have a question for Teresa.
Me? Okay.
Yes. You were talking about the botanical set for the 13-year-olds. Which botanical sets did you use?
I'm sorry. Which
botanical sets did you try out for the 13-year-olds?
I use the botanical cleanser and the toner. I put the toner on a cotton ball, put in a Ziploc bag, the botanical effects cleanser, cleansing gel, and the botanical effects moisturizer. So I gave her 3.
Was it the green bottle, the green and white set?
The newest one, I don't have
the pink bottle, the newest
the
one.
Pink set. Because I was wondering how far back in age we can start skincare, but that gave me a perfect idea right there.
I think 11-year-olds, you know, but you have to always ask the parent to make sure.
Right. Well, my niece is 12, 13, and I was thinking that's about as far, that's probably as young as we can start, maybe.
Well,
Listen,
sure.
You know, this is kind of a personal question or answer probably, but let's just face it, young girls are all different. They all start their period at a different time.
Right.
That happens, they start getting blemishes, they start getting breakouts, and you know, so some 11-year-olds you'd look at and say they're fine. Then some of them you'd say they need to start skincare. So, I mean, I think it's an individual basis. And the same thing with botanicals being perfect for that age. That the 3-in-1 cleansing bar is great for kids too.
That bar is awesome. I love that bar.
A lot of it is personality. Some little girls would think it's so cool to have a little cleanser. You swear I'm big time girl. And then some of them are like, if it's, you've got to put it in the shower for them to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right.
So
Anything else?
she used the pink set on them.
Yes.
Thank you, Megan. Sorry.
But again, I made, wrote a note to the mom. I mean, I thought she'd be comfortable with it, but I just, nowadays, since I'm not there to dispense the product out, I want to make sure that they, it was okay with them. And I even did it with my cousin too, even though, she knows that I'm clean. I said, are you okay with this? Are you okay with this? To make sure she was okay with it. She goes, yeah, I'm fine. Okay. So, I always want to ask the mother's permission for sure. Yeah.
And, just like it's the small things like Teresa, just respecting the facts and asking the question. Because that's like with me, she probably would say, oh, she's all right with anything. But just because she asked me, my whole level of respect for Teresa just went a whole new level because she asked me that and just didn't assume that it was okay. So I think that's important, Teresa. Let's see, somebody's got a question here right fast. Let me check that out before we get off. Oh, Ashley wants to be on a team. I thought so, Ashley. All right. So as far as prayer requests tonight, be sure to, even though I don't even know why I'm asking us for prayer about Chris, because we already know God's all over it. I mean, He showed us in every way, but just keep praying anyways, okay? Because He's going to do perfect. And keep just praying for Rita. She's doing so good with her treatments and not getting sick. And we just said she's glowing and she looks beautiful. And so we're so thankful for that. Is there any other prayer requests that anybody has on their mind? I'm going to continue to pray this week that we just bless women, because that's when you love to do this, is when you send it to those people and you get that positive feedback. Then that's when it just fills you up and you just can't wait to bless the next person. And you get I think we have to be careful to always be wondering what people's thinking about us. In the big scheme of things, what does it really matter what people think about us except your family? I mean, that's all that matters. And so anyways, we can't worry about that. So, all right, was there any other prayer requests? By the way, raise your hand if there was. I'll wait for you. Anybody else want to pray? I will. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you in prayer, Lord, and thank you for this time together again. It fills my heart up, Lord. So it makes me think about the ones that jump on here virtually, Lord, that we, again, may be the only little sunshine that they get to see in that day. And that's what you want us to do. You want us to encourage, to breathe life, to lift others up, Lord. And this is our opportunity and our way to do that. So I thank you for this. I thank you for our time together tonight, Lord. I thank you for the training and the little pieces that we picked up that was encouragement. I pray for Chris, Lord, as she just rests this week and you just heal her, Lord, that knows you are not even going to be able to tell that anything was ever done, Lord. And thank you again for Rita and how you are just touching her body and keeping her well. And we just are so thankful for that, Lord. And I just pray for our week. I pray, Lord, that the second we feel you put somebody on our heart and mind, that we know that is not accident. That is the Holy Spirit. That is you prompting us, Lord, to reach out to that person. And so I just praise you and I thank you for all these things, Lord. Amen. Yikes, that just really put me in a bad spot, because I woke up the other night and I was like, because y'all know I live in a neighborhood now. I've never lived in a neighborhood before. And so and there's like 4 or 5 people in this neighborhood that I've talked to, but not like I've made connection with, I'll say, and they know what I do. And so the other night I just woke up and I was like, I'm supposed to have a neighborhood virtual party. I'm supposed to go to the 4 or 5 people that I've talked to and say, okay, do we all know each other? Let's get on a virtual call and do some masking and have some fun. So it's just like he spoke to me. Daggone, that was a Holy Spirit shoot. I'm going to do it. It's going to be fun. So you all have a great week. I'm going to divide you up. And it was good to see your pretty faces and your ball caps and how cute you all look in them.
Very cute.
Bye.
Bye, girls. Have a good evening.
Yeah. Bye-bye.